Hello, friends, and thank you as always for visiting the Legend Sports Universe YouTube channel, Legend Sports Universe, where legends play forever. Year 4 of the Franchise Stars Baseball League comes to the last weekend of August, and we come to you live from Dodger Stadium, Chavez Ravine, for Game 3 of a 4-game set between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers send Dazzy Vance to the hill. The strikeout artist takes the mound for a Dodgers squad that locks up against Dizzy Dean, who's up there on the strikeout list as well, but it's been a struggle for Dean this year. 6-14 for the former Outstanding Pitcher Award winner. But the Cardinals are back in the playoff race. They enter the day 4.5 games out in an NL Central with 3 teams tied at 500 for the division lead. There you see Vance's numbers, 13-8, 3.11 more than a strikeout per inning. The Cardinals will try to solve him and get a little bit closer, trying to mount the comeback in the NL Central. Ray Lankford, 303, 22 homers, 71 RBIs. A very strong season for Lankford, providing his usual bit of pop, playing a solid left field, but the average a bit higher than usual for Lankford. That's a career high for him. 7-11. First pitch from Vance misses up high. Fastball is in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Breaking ball. Lankford skies this one, shallow center. Willie Davis coming on a long run. He was playing Lankford fairly deep, but plenty of hang time underneath that one. Davis tracks it down for the first out. Your Cardinals lineup: Lankford, Hornsby, and trade deadline pickup Bryce Harper. We'll get to Harper in a bit. Mize Edmonds and the rookie Ted Simmons. Boyer, Hafey, and Ozzie Smith round out the Cardinals lineup, batting .270 as a team, 5th in the National League. Guy who has struggled this year for them, this man, Rogers Hornsby. Hornsby batting .249, a career .300 hitter entering the season. His season this year has brought him down below the .300 mark in his career to .298. Still providing a little bit of pop. He's got the 20 homers. But certainly Hornsby's down season has impacted this Cardinals squad in a negative way. He pulls that fastball foul. The count is 1-1. There you see Hornsby, a career .907 OPS. He has been a terrific player, a 3-time All-Star for the Cardinals. This was his first year not earning an All-Star nod. Breaking the ball from Vance, swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2. Greg Gorecki joins us, seeing Ray Lankford. Oh my goodness, they say Hornsby went there on a breaking ball well out of the zone. That did not look like Hornsby went. But he's rung up 2 away, and here is Bryce Harper. Harper acquired in a trade a little bit before the trade deadline, coming over from an Expos team that decided to kind of rearrange the deck chairs. 28 homers, 78 RBIs. That total's tied for 8th in the National League. Cardinals dealing Lou Brock and Johnny Padres, who they had acquired from these Dodgers, actually, a year ago, in the deal to get Harper. Brock has played well since going to the Expos, but Harper has played well since coming here to the Cardinals as they try to complete this comeback from the cellar in the NL Central, taking advantage of the mediocre, and that's being kind, division at this point. 3 teams deadlocked atop the National League Central at 500. 68-68. 2-2 the count. Breaking ball gets Harper, swung on and missed, and down he goes. So good first inning for Dazzy Vance. We head to the bottom of the first. Cardinals nothing. Dodgers coming up. Yes, Greg? You guys traded Lou Brock. Here's Dizzy Dean. Dean 6-14 on the year, a 4.27 ERA. Again, Dean, the Rookie of the Year and the National League Outstanding Pitcher Award winner 2 years ago. Dean had a rough sophomore campaign a year ago, and then was frankly horrible this year up until the All-Star break. Since the All-Star break, Dean has put up an ERA below 2, though. So he's getting hot at the right time as the Cardinals try to get themselves back into the picture. Fastball to Jackie Robinson. He swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Hey, Paul, how are you? Good to see you, buddy. Fastball misses down low. It's 1-1. Pulled down the third. Nice backhand pick there by Ken Boyer. Boyer was playing on the infield grass in case Robinson laid down a punt. Boyer picks it, throws him out. Dodgers lineup: Robinson, Reeser, and Brothers. Campanello, Wheat, and Ripper Collins acquired from these Cardinals last offseason. Willie Davis, Bill Russell, and George Pinckney. The Dodgers offense fourth in the National League in runs. Here's Reeser. Reeser batting .297. Pulls that one foul. 12 homers, 44 RBIs for Reeser. Breaking ball there. Now goes to 1-1. Over in the American League Central, the Twins have cut the Tigers' lead to 3 games. Tigers have led that division since the start, but the Twins have gotten hot. The Tigers have cooled off a bit. Those teams are going to play, I believe, 6 times in September. So the Twins are going to have a little bit of control of their own destiny there. See if they can rally and overtake the Tigers down the stretch. 1-2 offering from Dean. Fastball off the plate. The 5 teams in the American League postseason are pretty much locked in at this point. Yankees and A's will win their divisions. The Red Sox are pretty much locked into the top wild card. So it's really just a matter of where the Tigers and Twins line up in that AL Central. Reeser pulls that one foul. It's 2-2. Ed Simmons, the rookie catcher for the Cardinals, puts down the sign. Dean delivers. Breaking ball. Reeser pulls another one foul. 8 pitches so far in the at-bat here as Reeser tries to wear down Dizzy Dean here in the opening frame. Fastball off the plate. And the count goes full. Full count. Reeser gets a piece, fouls off the changeup. 10 pitches now in the at-bat. Dean looking for that put-away pitch. He's not finding it here against Reeser. Good work from Reeser this at-bat. Another 3-2 offering. Fastball gets him. 11 pitches to get the job done, but Dean whiffs Reeser for the first strikeout of the ball game. 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Fastball up and away. Reeser can't catch up with him. So here's Dan Brothers. Brothers batting .305. Brothers set to be a free agent at the end of this season. Dodgers would like to keep him, but he's going to have an awful lot of other teams pursuing his services. .305, 19 homers, 59 RBIs. Lifetime hitter well above 300. Fastball on the inside corner. It's 1-1. .929 career OPS for Brothers. Fastball down and in, swung on and missed, and Dean is ahead of him 1-2. He rocks and fires. Fastball, and he gasses Brothers. Down he goes. Pair of strikeouts for Dizzy Dean in the first inning. Dean looking like the pitcher of his rookie season since the All-Star break. Looks on his game here. We head to the second at Dodger Stadium. Cardinals and Dodgers are scoreless. Stepping in, here's Johnny Mize. Mize, third in the National League in homers with 38. 85 RBIs has him among the leaders as well. Average down a little bit this year at .269. Still respectable. He'll step in to face Dazzy Vance. Fastball is a called strike. Strikeouts figure to be prominent in this game with Dean and Vance, two of the top three in the league. Alternate history 100. Didn't Dizzy Dean have a brother named Daffy? Yes, he did. Solid pitcher, not as good as Dizzy, but Daffy was a solid pitcher as well. Fastball down the way. 1-2 offering, curveball inside, makes Mize jackknife back. And down goes Johnny Mize. Third strikeout already for Vance. He struck out 3 of the first 4 to face him. Fastball straight cheddar there, and Mize can't catch up with it. So here's Jim Edmonds, 1 away. Daffy Dean's real name was Paul, by the way. If you're interested. Fastball misses inside. It's 2-0. Paul says, in 1 month I'll be in the U.S. at PlayCon. Ah, there you go. That's the curveball down and away. Be able to watch at a normal time. Now, there you go. In a month, well, probably in the middle of the playoffs at that point. You'll be able to catch playoff games at the real time. Vance humming that fastball in there. It's 3-1. Now it sets up low. Vance rocks and delivers. Fastball there is fouled off. So the count goes full to Jim. And missed 4 strikeouts in the first 5 hitters for Dazzy Vance. Down goes Edmonds. Vance has command of that breaking ball. This is going to be a long day for the Cardinals. Here's Ted Simmons. Simba batting .252 here in his rookie campaign. Fastball misses up high. 17 homers, 49 RBIs in his rookie campaign for Simmons. Pitch. Simmons yanks that one with foul. One pitch. Ooh, curveball up high. Vance looking fastball there, well out in front and out. 1-2 the count as Vance works to Simmons. Rocks and fires. Fastball, Simmons puts it back up the middle, and there's a base hit. So Ted Simmons singles into center for a 2-out single. Give the Cardinals a base runner here in the top of the second.
The third baseman.
Fastball off the plate. Simmons goes out and gets it. No shot for either Russell or Robinson. So now here's Ken Boyer. Boyer has gotten hot here in this run for the Cardinals since the All-Star break. He's got his average up to 294. 18 homers, 63 RBIs for Boyer. Sega Genesis, alternate history 100, going way back. Talk about history. Bring out the Sega Genesis. You have a Dreamcast, too? That'd really be dating yourself. 0-1 pitch from Vance. Popped up on the infield. Brothers underneath it near the bag. Puts it away. And the side is retired. So Simmons' 2-out single doesn't end up hurting the Dodgers at all. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Cardinals nothing, Dodgers nothing. From Chavez Ravine, Roy Campanella will lead things off. Campanella, 249, 19 homers, 59 RBIs. Campanella only batting 233 at home, 266 on the road. Campy, after a down year last year, started off with a terrific start to this season. Kind of went in reverse of last season. Last year, he started off terribly. And then played better as the year went on. This year, he started out hot and has cooled off. One and one the count as Dean works to Campanella. Change up, misses inside. Paul says, I didn't realize you could play in this mode before I started watching Legends. Well, that's the thing. You just have a lot of low line drive there from Campanella. Boyer picks it before it hits the dirt, and there's one away. Campanella hit that one hard, and that's just the way it's going for Campy right now. Zach Wheat steps in, batting 297, riding a 9-game hitting streak. A lot of your older guard guys, you talk about, Twitch games and consoles, stuff like that, have really never played them. Well, they haven't played them in like 15 or 20 years, and they're just talking without any knowledge. And I've just learned to kind of stop beating my head against that wall trying to convince people, because if they wanted to know, they'd learn. So you just kind of get off of dealing with that. But yeah, I mean, the show, and they're not all equal. Like, the show does it very well, and the show can easily be used as a sim. NBA 2K can as well. Madden and NHL, the EA games basically, need a lot more work. You can fight with them and turn them into a sim, and I do that because I enjoy it, and that's the way I like creating these projects that I do. But it's a lot more work. Like, people look at the scope of this baseball project, and I'm in year 4 now. I've created more than 1,500 guys at this point. And people look at the scope of this project and kind of like assume that this is the most difficult project that I've done, and it's not. The hardest project I did was getting the Franchise Stars Football League started with Madden, and in terms of difficulty factor, it wasn't even close. Madden was so much harder to get to play properly the way I wanted it to. The show was just pretty much, okay, study the mechanism a little bit and then develop my rating system. And then once I did that, it really pretty much worked from the jump. Madden was test and retest and develop a rating system that looked good at the start and then realized it needed more adjustments and tweak it again. That project burned me out. And I love doing this. Creating the Madden project burned me out on developing a project for a while. So it's just some games do it well, some games don't do it well. But when you hear people do like the broad brush, console games, they're twitchy and they don't do sim, stuff like that. Anybody who makes a broad stroke statement like that simply doesn't have any idea what they're talking about. It's kind of really that plain. So here's Chick Hafey to open up the top of the third. Hafey batting 285. Nance has just rolled along here. Struck out 5 of the first 7 to face him. Breaking ball there, make it 6 of 8. Down goes Hafey, and Dazzy Vance is just, I'm sorry, it's 5th strikeout. 5th strikeout for Vance. That's right, the final out was, final out of the last inning was the round out as well. Pop out. So that'll bring up the Wizard. Ozzie Smith will step in at 277. Cardinals take 277 out of Ozzie every year. Ozzie lays down a bunt, and it's a beauty along the chalk, rolls just foul. Touched up by Pinckney to keep it from going back fair. And it only amounts to strike 1. Vance delivers. Fastball. Fouled off. 0-2. I agree. I just moved away from PC and console gaming, but this is different the way you have it set up. Well, thank you. Yeah, I love doing it, and I mean I'll still play. I just kind of play on my own, um, when I'm feeling so inclined. But it's just creating this, universe, for lack of a better term, um, and trying to make it come to life. Like
Now
that's
back. Left
where
field.
I get my fun
Play.
from this.
Flag.
Uh, is seeing if I can make the project play realistically and plausibly and enjoyably for people to watch. Say, "Wow, I'm into this." Those are the biggest compliments that I get from people. People tell me stuff like, I wasn't paying any attention to the real baseball playoffs, but I'm hooked on yours. Like that, there is no bigger compliment you can give me, with what I do than stuff like that. Langford fouls it off. Count goes to 1-1. Oh, I appreciate that, Paul. Thank you. Fastball misses down and in. 2-1 the count. I'm really happy to be back doing the boxing, dude. That was fun doing that card the other night. I'll do another one this week at some point. Langford fouls it straight back. 2-2 the count. Vance rocks and delivers. Fouls another one. Alternate one. History on it. Sometimes the Sims are better than reality. Yeah, and I mean, it's and people throw the word sim around really heavily. And I try not to. I mean, I know I just did a little bit ago, and I guess I was kind of talking in the vernacular of people who are in this hobby.
The batter.
Um,
Number 0.
as walk issued there for Langford to the Cardinals. They have a 2-out base runner as Hornsby steps up. Like when people tell me, um, like a card, I particularly like people say that these console games aren't possibly Sims, and then try to tell me that a dice game or a card and dice game is a Sim. That's laughable, frankly. Um, the biggest and they're great and they're fun. I grew up on Status Pro. If I could do my projects with something like Status Pro, I would have no problem doing it. But from a time perspective, how long it takes to play a game, not being able to sim all the games for every team in one quick batch and stuff like that, it just makes it impossible to do what I do in a card and dice format. But I totally like card and dice games. I grew up on them. I played Pursuit of Pennant religiously as well, um, when I was a kid. But the greatest interaction of baseball is the batter-pitcher confrontation. If you're breaking that down into a single card flip, pitch type is irrelevant, count is irrelevant. Don't dare call that a sim to me and then say that this isn't. Like that's just it makes absolutely no sense, and that's just kind of I do feel this one's driven into right center, going back on it is Reeser. Reeser makes the grab. Oh, what a play! Pete Reeser probably saved a run, uniform glitch notwithstanding. But that is an extra base hit for Rogers Hornsby if Pete Reeser doesn't reel that in. Hard landing for Reeser. It appears that he's fine. He saves a run. We head to the bottom of the third. Dodgers and Cardinals are scoreless. Here's Willie Davis. Davis batting .265. I think people like to think that what they're doing is a sim, is a simulation. The word just gets thrown out there a lot. And it's not really appropriate in most cases, I find. And it's just people overthinking and trying to overrate what they're doing or what they're using or what I'm using is better than what you're, and that kind of thing. It's like, it's not that serious, guys. It's a hobby. Just enjoy it for what it is. enjoy the experience, play whatever it is you prefer to play, and whatever scratches that itch that you've got, and just enjoy that, rather than worrying about like competing games or people who are doing this do this wrong or whatever like that. That stuff I just find kind of silly. I got enough real life stress in my life that I don't need to have fights and arguments about simulated sports. It just doesn't weigh that heavily. Curveball misses down low. 1-1 the count for Russell. Right, room for whatever you love to play. It's just, and I don't, you'll see some of like the chats, like particularly like in the Facebook groups. Like, I don't understand why people play this or do this way, and I'm just like, why do you care? Why do you care how anybody else is playing their game in a way that makes them happy? I don't know. I'm not wired like that. George Pinckney waits on deck for the Dodgers. The perfect example, like for me, like I've brought this up previously. I don't rail on about it or question anybody about it. Like, I don't get season replays. I just don't. I don't get the appeal of them. I never have. Harper comes on and reels that one in for the first out. There are other people who exclusively play season replays and who have absolutely no interest in cross-era mixing things the way that I do. Like, I get that. There's other people who think that what I do just doesn't really make any sense to them. And that's fine. But I think the worst one of that, not to get too far into the weeds here, I saw. I won't even name him personally. There was someone who posted and used to constantly post it. Like, he posted a video on his channel, and he would post this in like digital dice, sports simulations and dynasties, like at least once a month. This same video, it was like 5 reasons, or maybe even been 10 reasons why you're playing your baseball sim wrong. And I'm like, are you effing kidding me? You're telling other people they're playing their game for their enjoyment wrong? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But, so I kind of called that guy to task on his ridiculousness. But, again, it's to each their own. This is, anybody who's doing this is doing this as a hobby. So if it's a hobby, just enjoy what you're doing and don't worry about why or how other people are finding their enjoyment in the way that they are. And that will conclude my semi-preachiness for the evening. So Dean picks up another strikeout. Order turns over with 2 outs, man on first. Here's Jackie Robinson. Robinson's 0 for 1. Alternate history cross error requires imagination. Not everyone possesses that quality. That's true. That's true. And I don't know. I never take that tack with it because I never want to come off arrogantly about running things the way I do. It just runs. This is something that appeals to me. I spent my life in sports, playing sports, working in sports, and I love history. So sports history obviously holds a very huge place to me. So this is a way that I can merge all of that. And I was originally going to do broadcasting, and multiple circumstances took me down the road. Journalism, print journalism instead of broadcast journalism. But this kind of feeds my initial itch also. So it's kind of merging the same things together. Passions of mine and bringing them all into one spot. Davis gets back as Dean throws over. Got the makings of a very good pitcher's duel here at Chavez Ravine. 2-2 offering from Dean. Robinson pops it up in foul ground. Mize, camped underneath it, puts it away. And the side is retired. We are a third of the way through here in LA. Only one hit so far. We head to the fourth. Cardinals nothing, Dodgers nothing. Harper, Mize, and Edmonds due up for St. Louis.
Leading off for the Cardinals, the right fielder, Bryce
Harper struck out his first time. But what you said all the history, what you said there about not everyone possesses the imagination quality. It is certainly true to a point, but it's also people can be imaginative, but not be able to implement that in one way, but can't implement that in another way. Mike Silva, a friend in the channel and stuff like that. Mike's been very involved in Out of the Park for a long time, as I was, and I'm no longer involved here. But Mike's the guy who does all this great stadium creation stuff and stuff like that. Mike could be the first one. He probably he wouldn't be able to do a roster project kind of thing the way I do. I could never in a million years do what Mike Silva does as far as the stadium stuff goes. It's absolutely brilliant. And he's just got a great mind for doing it and figuring it out and piecing it all together. It's incredibly well done stuff. Me being imaginative works in one sense, but in that sense, I don't have that kind of brain that works there. Fastball there, blocks Harper up. Man, sixth strikeout here with one out in the top of the fourth.
Number 22.
I mean, age 100. Your site and the stuff that you do. I finally got a chance to catch a couple weeks ago and see some of the stuff that you do. Great stuff. I couldn't put something like that together in that fashion. I just wouldn't be able to kind of piece that in the way that you did. Again, so people can have imagination, but not necessarily be able to apply it across the board in every circumstance. Fouled off there by Mize. I've been traded back to the Expos. He's a big reason why the Cardinals are getting themselves back in contention. Fastball up and away. Curveball misses down low. Full count. Edmonds waits on deck. Vanilla sets up low. Vance rocks and fires. Goes high. Mize protects. Fouls it off. I missed his comment earlier from Paul because people have to interfere in other people's enjoyment these days. That is also very true. That is also very true. So down goes Mize. Here's Edmonds. Okay, down goes Mize. On first there with one away. Edmonds has been a very solid performer for these Cardinals. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Vance ahead of Edmonds, 0-2. Fastball swung on and missed, and man, Vance is just chucking. He is rolling. 7 strikeouts for Dazzy Vance, who continues to roll here for the Dodgers. Dodgers started off this season red hot, kind of went in the tank, almost inexplicably. Well, this was going to be a big step forward season for the Dodgers, and it just hasn't transpired. Vance works to Simmons, who singled his first time up. Eddie Goodell had one at bat in the major. I believe it was just the one at bat, yes. Let me see. One more thing. Paul says, I was playing History Maker Baseball. Cooper Sound Project took me a year, and the 2 championship teams could blind draft 1 pitcher and 1 batter. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I love little twisted concepts like that. Popped up, shallow right field. Robinson goes out and reels it in. And the side is retired. Runner is stranded. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Cardinals, nothing. Dodgers, nothing. Reserve, Brothers and Campanella due up for L.A. Boston Freedom Trailers drafted Eddie Goodell and Zach Page. Talk about a dichotomy there. Fastball on the inside corner. 4 strike 1. Delivers. Breaking ball misses away, 1-1. Wayne Martz, how are you, my friend? Good to see you, sir. Be sure to check out Wayne's fabulous channel. Fastball on the inside. Edge of the plate for a count of 1-2. He delivers. Fastball, oh my goodness, on the black at the knees. You are not hitting that. 4th strikeout for Dizzy Dean. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Good old Bill Beck. Bill Beck was imaginative. I think we can safely assign that to him. Curveball the Brothers for strike 1. Curveball misses down and in. Michael Kenny, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Like the show, play 25 pretty frequently. I have not gotten the new version. The last version I got was this one, which was 22. And just by nature of me creating the project as I have, and it working as well as it has, I just don't have any reason to recreate my project in a newer version of the game. But I've heard that 25 is pretty solid, though. Brothers, high fly ball out to center. Edmonds is there. Puts it away for out number 2.
The catcher, number 39, Roy.
So that'll bring up Roy Campanella. Campy lined out to Boyer his first time. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard momentarily. First pitch swing. Campanella drives this one to right, but Harper is right there, puts it away. And the side is retired. We are through 4 here in Los Angeles. Cardinals, nothing. Dodgers, nothing. Dean and Vance not allowing much to this point as we head to the 5th. Here's Ken Boyer. Boyer is 0 for 1.
The third baseman.
Vance would like a little bit of a quicker inning here. He's thrown 71 pitches through 4. Hank Greenberg. Now, it's one of those guys I can't wait to enter this league. Hank Greenberg was a beast. Fastball misses off the plate. 2-0 the count. Here as Vance works to Boyer. Right down the middle, and Boyer lashes it into center. Davis cuts it off nicely. Boyer will be held at first with a single. So Boyer starts off the fifth with a base hit. Vance stretches out the arm a little bit. Gets back on the hill to regroup as he faces Chick Hafey. Hafey's 0 for 1. Rays defeat the Angels 6-2 in Tampa. Charlie Baez drives in a 4 for the Rays. The Twins rally to take down the White Sox 6-5 in Minnesota. Alex Carrasquillo gets the win in relief there. Zeke Venora hit 2 homers for the Sox in the loss. Heine Manush hit his 16th for the Twins as they continue to try to chase down the Tigers. Royals all over the Astros 7-1. Brady Singer gets the win for Kansas City, who got their 27th home run of the year from Dwight Evans, who is having a fine season this year, having fit in with the Royals after being acquired from the Red Sox a year ago. Indians take down the Tigers 4-2 in Detroit. A's over the Mariners 6-1 in Seattle. That is a final. Eddie Plank the win there. Jake Arrieta takes the loss. A complete game 2-hitter for Eddie Plank. Ken Griffey Jr., his 35th home run of the season. This ball is hit well to left center. That's going back towards the gap on the run, looking up, and it's out of here. 2-run homer for Chick Hafey, his 23rd of the season. And the Cardinals strike first, top of the 5th here in Los Angeles. It's 2-0 Cards. Hafey drove that one out to the gap. Davis gave a run. Thought he might have a play on it at the wall, but it just kept on going. So, the ice has been broken here in Los Angeles. Here's Ozzie. Wizard is 0 for 1. Fastball is in for a called strike. Greg, that season the White Sox played in the shorts was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Man, those uniforms were gaudy as hell. I can't put them in those uniforms here in the show, or I would have slapped the White Sox in those uniforms at least once. Just because they're funny. God, they were so terrible. Smith fouls it off. I can't believe the players didn't revolt. Wayne, looks like Judge had a grand slam to win the game for the Yankees. Yeah, he's been surpassed for the lead by Gehrig, but again, Judge, Gehrig, and Maris, a very strong trifecta there for your Yankees. Smith pulls this one foul to right. Tigers struggling a little bit. Again, the Twins have closed the gap. Twins are playing well, too. But the Twins have closed that gap to 3 games with the Tigers in the AL Central division. The Tigers have led pretty much from the jump this season. The Tigers can't be going into the postseason. I mean, you still have a month of baseball left. But the Tigers are going to end up in the playoffs one way or another. Tigers cannot go into the postseason with that offense struggling. They just can't afford that. If you're going to again, they would have to take out at least one of the Yankees or the A's as Vance locks Smith up for his 8th strikeout of the ball game. 1 away here in the top of the 5th. And honestly, the Red Sox are playing really well right now too. So you're not going to have. You're going to have to hit a bit. And that's the problem for both of those teams in the Central, the Tigers and the Twins. Just don't score enough runs to compete, over the course of particularly a 7-game series against the Yankees, the A's, or the Red Sox, I don't think. Especially now if they're going cold a little bit. Here's Langford. He's 0 for 1. He's also walked. Fastball misses high. But here on this National League side of things, nobody wants to see these Cardinals find their way into the postseason. Fastball misses up high. They've had a couple of down seasons. Hornsby has had a down season. Dean, he's been great since the All-Star break, but Dean had a miserable first half. But now Dean is pitching really well. Gibson is pitching really well. You do not want a team with as much talent as this Cardinals team has. If you're the Phillies or the Giants, who are still the two best teams in the National League, you do not want to see the Cardinals get into the postseason with Gibson and Dean pitching well and the talent that this lineup has. Campanella sets up outside. Langford swings and misses. Down he goes for the second out. Strikeout number 9 for Dazzy Vance, who continues to chuck.
Number 0.
Underrated pitcher for his career. Dazzy Vance was very, very strong. Don't think Dazzy gets enough love. Here's Hornsby. The Rajo is 0 for 2. Again, it's been a down season for Hornsby. It was 0 for 7 in the series, 0 for 2 in the game. And All-Star all 3 years of the FSBL before this season. Campanella sets low. Vance goes breaking ball. Hornsby lays off. 1-1 the count. Another breaking ball, and Hornsby slashes it through the hole into right field. So a 2-out single for Rogers Hornsby. Cardinals will look get a little bit of a 2-out rally going here. And Cardinals taking a 2-0 lead on the Chick Hafey home run. Here's Bryce Harper. Harper is 0 for 2. Fastball. Harper hits this one pretty well to right. I think it's going to stay in the park, though. Reeser's underneath it. Puts it away. And the side is retired. But Hafey goes yard. 2-run shot breaks the scoreless tie. We are midway through here at Dodger Stadium. Cardinals 2. Dodgers nothing. So here's Zach Wheat.
The left fielder.
Wheat 0 for 1. Rounded out back in the second. In at 58 pitches through 4. Breaking ball, ground ball up the middle on the backhand. Hornsby gets a glove on it, but he can't make the play. And there's the first hit of the game for the Dodgers. Infield single for Zach Wheat. Hornsby gives kind of an apologetic nod there to Dizzy Dean. Not an easy play, but a play that Hornsby would tell you he feels like he should have come up with. Here's Ripper Collins. Collins is 0 for 1. And from the set, rocks and fires. Line shot. That's going towards the gap in left center. Edmonds cuts it off nicely. Runner's going to hold at second. Good job by Edmonds. Collins laced that one towards the gap in left center field. Edmonds got a good break to get over there and cut that one off from splitting the gap. But still, first and second, now here's Willie Davis. Davis walked his first time up. Fastball misses up high. Dean's first trouble of the ball game. Davis had a big power start to the season through April and May. Kind of returned to his normal rate since then. Still an elevated home run figure on the season for Willie Davis. 2-0 the count here is Dean fighting it a little bit at the moment. Rocks and fires. Fastball away. Davis goes chasing 2-0. Misses miserably. It's 2-1. Crowd here at LA trying to come alive. But again, the Dodgers only came out of the wild card spot. So despite their disappointing season, they're still very much in the thick of things. This National League wild card race, the NL Central race, and the wild card race in the National League over the final month of the season are going to be very, very fun to watch. Fastball swung on and missed. And the count goes full. It was like 77 they wore those. They wore the White Sox wore those shorts. Davis pulled this one foul. Orioles defeat the free-falling Blue Jays 3-1. Behind Mike Mussina. Fastball rings him up. Strike 3 call. Davis doesn't like it. 5th strikeout for Dizzy Dean. Up and in. But StatCast says that's a strike. So does the home plate umpire. Excuse me. And down goes Davis. Here's Russell. He's 0 for 1. Fastball. Fly ball lazily hit to right. Harper comes on, lays out, and makes the grab. Oh, beautifully done by Bryce Harper. We saw a terrific grab from Pete Reeser in right for the Dodgers earlier. Harper matches the feed here. Terrific grab from Harper to take a blue single away from Bill Russell. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Pinckney. He's 0 for 1. Fastball down and in. Good pitchers' duels almost always have some good defense behind them. And delivers. Pinckney fouls it off. Disco Demolition Night. Another one of those great ideas. Fastball misses inside, 2-1. Dean delivers. Fastball is a called strike. The count goes to 2-2. Dizzy Dean trying to get out of the 1st and 2nd no-out jam. He's a strike away from doing so. Here's the pitch. Fastball is fouled off. Another 2-2 offering from Dean. Delivers. Fastball misses down low. He rocks and fires. Pitch. Fastball is fouled up. Three and 2 the count. Pitch again from Dean. Popped up. Boyer goes out. Puts it away and the side is retired and Dean gets out of the jam. Rough one for the Dodgers there. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. They come out of it empty-handed. We head to the top of the 6th. Still 2-0 Cardinals. So here's Mize. Mize is 0 for 1. He also drew a walk.
The first baseman, number 22.
Blue Jays are now 9 games out of a wild card spot. So I think those American League playoff teams are pretty much set at this point. Here's Vance. Vance at 95 pitches to start the 6th. Fastball misses up high. There's a fastball. Mize chops it out to 2nd. Robinson charges, throws to 1st, and gets Mize for the 1st down.
Up next for the Cardinals, the center fielder, Jim Edmonds.
That'll bring up Jimmy Edmonds. Edmonds is 0 for 2. He has struck out both times. 1 for 10 in the series. Vance rocks and fires. Fastball misses down and in. called strike. Fastball misses down low. Three 3-1 offering from Dazzy Vance. Breaking ball misses down and in for ball 4. So Edmonds with a 1-out walk here in the top of the 6th. Here's Simmons. He's 1 for 2. Curveball. This is down and in. Bullpen action for the Dodgers. Berth Hooten, the right-hander. Jerry Royce, the left-hander. Where Vance gets into trouble. He works deep counts. Lots of strikeouts. Fair number of walks. Even in a game like this where he has thrown well, now at 104 pitches in the 6th inning. Runner goes, breaking ball. Simmons swings, gets a piece and fouls it off. One and 2 the count. It's delivered. Simmons fouls it off. One, 2 the count. Vance delivers again. Curveball. Simmons fights off another one. Ed Simmons not going down easily. Fastball misses outside, 2 and 2. Braves and Rockies tied at 3 out in Colorado. Fastball there, swung on and missed. Vance banned Simmons for his 10th strikeout of the ballgame. 2 away here in the 6th. Simmons thought he should have hit that one. Easier said than done. Here's Ken Boyer. He's 1 for 2. First ball in for strike 1. Vance from the set. Ball down in the dirt. Snap throw down to first. Runner dives back in. One and 1 the count as Vance works to Boyer. Boyer skies this one to center. Davis coming on. Gets there easily. He coasts underneath that one. Puts it away. And the side is retired. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Quickly through that, didn't even show the end of the inning placard for some reason there. I didn't hit a button. But we're kind of zipping along. Guess the production crew wants to get us moving. Here's Jackie Robinson. Robinson is 0 for 2. Change up from Dean for strike 1. 37 steals for Jackie Robinson this year. 3rd in the National League. It's been up and down sophomore campaign for Robinson. After a very strong rookie year, fastball's fouled off. Dean delivers. Gibson holds up. Oh no, they say he did not hold up. He kind of stumbled across the plate, but it looked like from a swing perspective, he had held himself. Umpire says no. Down goes Robinson. 6th strikeout for Dean. Here's Pete Reeser. Reeser lashes this one to the gap in left center. That's going to be extra bases. Reeser runs well. Langford goes, retrieves it on the warning track. Reeser around second. He's going to go for third anyway. Relay throw from Ozzie is on the money. Oh, a beautiful relay there. Ozzie Smith takes the throw from Ray Langford, throws an on-target strike to third, and the speedy Pete Reeser is thrown out, trying to stretch it into a triple. Boyer puts the tag on. 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th. And now Dan Brothers comes up with nobody on the bases. Lofts this one down the left field line, drifts into foul territory. Langford gets a good jump and gets underneath it. And the side is retired. So Dean continues to coast. We head to the 7th here at Chavez Ravine. 2-0 Cardinals. Here's Chick Hafey, 1 for 2. That one was a 2-run shot back in the 5th. 112 pitches, but Vance is going to start the 7th inning anyway. See how much rope they're willing to give him. And the only blemish, really the home run from this man, Hafey. Vance has been very good. Dizzy Dean has just been a bit better. Ball there, it's fouled off. The count goes to 0-2. Curveball way out of the zone. Another curveball. That one's out of the zone, but Hafey chases that one. Strikeout number 11 for Dazzy Vance. 1 away here in the top of the 7th. So down goes Hafey. That brings up the Wizard. Ozzie is 0 for 2. Curveball is in for a called strike. Ozzie is struck out and grounded out. Fastball misses up and away. On 1 pitch, fastball misses inside. Smith puts this one out into right. Reeser drifts over. He gets there. Puts it away. 2-handed grab for Reeser. And there are 2 down.
Now that left fielder, Ray Lang.
So here's Langford, 0 for 2. He walked back in the 3rd. Dean and Vance tied 3rd in the league in strikeouts, both with 197 entering the day. Vance will move up the list a little bit further. He's got 11 Ks to this point. Dean has 6. Ball, Langford pulls it down. Vance rocks and delivers. Fastball misses up high. That one's down in the dirt. Taken. Count goes to 2-2. Fastball there. Langford fouls it off. Fastball at the letter, strike 3 call. Down goes Langford. Strikeout number 12 for Dazzy Vance. Takes us to the 7th inning stretch here in LA. It's still 2-0 Cardinals. Dizzy Dean at 82 pitches through 6. He'll start off facing Roy Campanella. Campanella is 0 for 2.
Campanella.
misses for ball one. Ball rides inside. Chuck Taylor and Todd Worrell both throwing in the Cardinals bullpen. 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses up high. 3-0. Zach Wheat waits on deck. Campanella drives this one to right center. That is a bullet, but foul. A scorched, slicing liner from Roy Campanella. Goes just outside the foul pole. Rounds this one to third. Backhand. Nice play by Boyer. Long throw to first, and he gets him. Nicely done by Ken Boyer, ranging behind the bag. The chopper from Campanella. Boyer probably could have set himself to make that throw. Instead, he makes the leaping throw behind the bag. Gets Campanella with plenty of time. Both teams are showing a bit of defense here in this one. Cardinals, probably the best defensive team in the National League. One away. Here's Zach Wheat. He takes a first pitch fastball. Wheat singled back in the fifth. That was the Dodgers' first hit of the game. Fastball up at the letters. It's 0-2. Craig says he wants to look flashy. That flashy Ken Boyer. That one not going to be able to be fielded. Sliced down the third base line. Langford gets to it quickly to cut it off. Wheat does not run great, but he's going to get into second with a one-out double. His 25th double of the season, and the Dodgers have a runner in scoring position. Hughes shot over the third base bag. Down the left field line. Langford pounced on it. Langford has a good arm. But Wheat gets in there. So now, here's Ripper Collins. Collins is 1 for 2. Fastball is a called strike. Already seen the bullpen action going for the Cardinals. Dean's future might be very tied to what Ripper Collins does here. Fastball swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Collins, a very solid player for these Cardinals over the last 3 years before the offseason trade. Collins sent to these Dodgers. Jay Howell sent to the Cardinals. Howell has been terrific. He's now the closer here in St. Louis. One and two the count. Dean from the set. Rocks and fires. Change up inside. 2-2. And rocks and fires again. Breaking ball. Collins well out in front of it. Pulls it down. Fastball swung on and missed. Down goes Collins. Big strikeout for Dean. That's his 7th. 2 away. Sorry, I missed this one before. Dwayne notes, you see lefty 24 wins. That's still 0 losses to go along with it. Yep. Lefty Grove still continuing his just remarkable season for the Oakland A's. So Dean now will get Davis here. Fastball is a called strike. Davis is 0 for 1. He also walked. Fastball misses down low. One pitch. Breaking ball away. Davis flails at it, and Dean a strike away from getting out of this jam. This will be pitch number 100 from Dizzy. Rocks and fires. Fastball up and in. Davis takes. Two-two pitch from Dean. Change up, misses down low. The count goes full. Hugh, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. I appreciate that. I hope all is well with you, buddy. 3-2 pitch. Davis skies into shallow right field. Harper underneath it, puts it away, and Dean gets out of another jam. 7 scoreless for Dizzy Dean. We head to the 8th here in LA. It's still 2-0 Cardinals. So Jerry Royce will come in. That'll close the book on Dazzy Vance. Royce 3-0 at 3.76. Earned run average in 19 appearances. He will start off against Rogers Hornsby. Check out the final line on Dazzy Vance is a good one. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts. For Dazzy Vance, he sits on the losing end of the ledger here, though, today. And ERA sits at 3.09 for the season. He has been very, very good. So Royce will start off against Hornsby here. He's got a couple string of lefties coming in after Roger, but he's got to deal with him first. Hornsby lines this one to left, but right at weak. Puts it away for out number 1. Here's Bryce Harper. Harper is 0 for 3. Blew out his last time up. Hughes has been watching. Just haven't caught a lot of the streams due to work. Took a few days off catching up on my sim channels. Well, I appreciate that, man. Whether you watch live, whether you watch after the fact, I always appreciate anybody giving me a little bit of their time. Harper skies out to Davis there very quickly. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Here's Johnny Mize. Mize is 0 for 2. Walk back in the 4th. Change up from Royce. Misses down and away. Shanho Park has joined Bert Hooten out in the Dodgers bullpen. 54,821. In attendance here at Dodger Stadium. Mize foul. Paul says, go Cubs, beat the Red Sox in extras. Yes, that game was actually streamed here on the channel. Been away for the last few days, so that stream was a few days ago. That game was here on the channel. That was a good one. Speaking of a good one, Mize gets a good hold of this one. Deep to right center. It's a one-hopper against the wall. It's going to go over the top of the wall. Ground rule double for Johnny Mize. His 20th double of the season, and the big cat with a big knock into the gap. So a 2-out double from Mize. Here's Edmonds. He's 0 for 2. Ball swung on and missed. Mike Minor throws 7 scoreless innings for the Rangers against the Yankees. Aaron Judge hit a grand slam against the Rangers bullpen, and the Yankees won that one 4-1 in the Bronx. Fastball swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Bert Hooten has overachieved in every project I ever had him in. That's funny. Fastball misses down and away. That one is lined out to left. That's hit pretty well, but Weed is there. Puts it away, and the side is retired. So Royce works around the 2-out double from Johnny Mize. We head to the bottom of the 8th here in Los Angeles. Cardinals 2, Dodgers nothing. They have to check out the Dodgers bench and see if they can get something going offensively. Dizzy Dean at 102 pitches starts the bottom of the 8th. Russell scheduled to hit. I'm not sure they have another shortstop on the roster. Let's go and take a look here. What do we got? Oh, they have Tommy Corcoran. All right. Well, if that's the case, we're going to bring in lefty. We're going to let Dixie Walker hit for Russell. And even though they're rights, I don't know if I'm going to pinch hit Mike Scioscia. We'll see. And actually, you know what? Russell has actually done all right. Tommy Corcoran isn't hitting a lick. I may actually let Russell hit for himself here. May pinch. Well, Ben Pinckney is a lefty. That may change my logic a little bit, actually. Because if you're not going to pinch hit for Pinckney just because he's a lefty, then it makes sense to pinch hit for Russell here. And Russell's hitting 274. I'm actually going to leave him in. I'm actually going to let Russell stay in and hit. Having a good year. By his standards, a solid year. Beatles Eternally, how are you, my friend? Good to see you, buddy. Hope all is well with you, sir. Change up from Dean. This is outside. Beatles, were you planning on going on at all tonight? If you are, let people know in the chat so they can mosey on over to your place once this wraps up. 2-0 the count here as Dean works to Russell. Russell pulls that one foul. Doing 1 the count. Dean deals. Russell goes reaching, pokes one. That's going to get into the seats foul, and the count goes to 2-2. Dean gets the sign from Simmons, signals he wants it low. Goes low, fastball misses low, and the count goes full. Braves defeat the Rockies in Colorado 4-3. Rico Cardi had an RBI there. Line ball to second. Oh, short hops Hornsby. He stays with it and barely gets Russell. That ball kind of knuckled on the Raja a little bit at second. But he hangs with it and barely gets Russell at first for the first out of the inning. Here's Pinckney. Pinckney is 0 for 2. Let's see. First pitch misses inside. I know Pinckney's got a little bit of pop, but with nobody on. See, they don't have anybody else rated to play third on the roster right now, actually. All right, so Pinckney will hit for himself here, which is fine, righty-lefty. Lefty-lefty, I'd be more concerned that I couldn't pitch it. Pinckney scorches that one, but foul. 1-1 the count. And delivers. Pinckney. One hopper to short. Ozzie has it. Guns him down, and quickly there's 2 away. Dean has been exceptional. Again, the Cardinals, a win here based on the results from the other teams on the day in the NL Central. The Cardinals would have almost unbelievably gotten themselves back to within 3.5 games of the division lead. 2 down. Here's Jackie Robinson. Robinson fouls it off. Nobody in the NL Central has had any consistency. Beatles, Pirates have kind of just played terrible baseball for the last about 6 weeks or so. You've got a 3-way tie at 500, top the NL Central, and then these Cardinals, who are a few games below 500, and still very much in the hunt for the division lead. See if one of those teams can break out over the final month of the season. 2-1 the count. Dean rocks and fires. That one is ripped to left by Robinson, but Langford has a good beat on it. Got a nice break and reels it in. 8 scoreless innings for Dizzy Dean here in L.A. We head to the top of the ninth. Cardinals 2, Dodgers nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
So here's Bert Hooton. Hooton 1-1, a 1.85 ERA out of the Dodgers bullpen. Hooton has now made 23 appearances on the season. Hooton started out as a starter. They figured he was not going to break the rotation given the depth that they have here in LA. Hooton has become a very reliable reliever out here in Los Angeles. He'll start off facing Ted Simmons. Simmons is 1 for 3. Breaking ball. This is down low. No fastball. Popped up. Outside. That's going to find grass before anybody can get close enough to it. So Simmons lives to fight another day. 1-1 the count here. Hooton rocks and delivers. Drops that one just inside. It's 2-1. Deals again. That one misses down and away. 3-1. Ken Boyer waits on deck. Fastball there is fouled off. I believe, and I'm not positive, but Bert Hooton was one of the first guys to employ the knuckle curve. 3-2 chopped out to short. Russell charges. Gobbles it up, throws the first, and down goes Simmons for the first down.
Up next for the Cardinals, the third baseman, Ken Boyer.
Here's Boyer. He's 1 for 3. Single. He scored on the Chick Hafey 2-run homer. Those are the only runs of the ball game to this point. You see those Pirates faltering again. Padres take them down 1-0. Sterling Hitchcock is going. Babe Adams, a tough luck loser there for Pittsburgh. Leon Cador now throwing out there with Chan Ho Park in the Dodgers bullpen. Boyer pulls it down with 1-1. Delivers. Fastball gets the call on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Fastball up and in. Hooton fans him. Down goes Boyer. Hooton picks up the strikeout. There's 2 away here in the top of the ninth.
The designated hitter, Chick Hafey.
Last time up. Did that. 2-run jack. Only runs of the ball game to this point. Fastball misses inside. It's 1-0. Curveball. Line shot down the right field line. That's going to be extra bases for Hafey. Going towards the corner. He's around first. Reeser digs it out. Throw comes into the cutoff man, but it'll be a stand-up double for Chick Hafey. His 30th double of the season. The Cardinals have an insurance run in scoring position. Hafey wisely holds up at second. Good piece of hitting there from Chick Hafey. Now here's Ozzie. The Wizard is 0 for 3. Curve misses away. Ozzie flew out his last time. Hooton delivers. Smith ground ball to first. Brothers head. It flips to Hooton covering. And the side is retired. So, good job by the Dodgers bullpen. We will head to the bottom of the ninth. Reeser, Brothers, and Campanella. 2 up for L.A. Reeser double. Dean at 115 pitches is going to get to start the bottom of the ninth for St. Louis. Reeser 1 for 3. doubled earlier, but was thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. A perfect relay throw from Ozzie Smith. Fastball misses up and away. Lashes that one the other way, and that's going to be extra bases. That's going towards the corner. Langford digs it out. Reeser pulls in at second, and this time he's not going to test it. So Reeser learns from his mistake. His last time up, 33rd double of the season for Reeser, and the Dodgers will get the tying run to the plate. We'll see if that's it for Dizzy Dean. And it is. Terrific start from Dean, who, again, miserable until the All-Star break. He entered this with a 1.98 earned run average since the All-Star break. Throws 8 scoreless here today, as the Cardinals continue their climb out of the abyss. And now Jay Howell, the former Dodger, will come in at Dodger Stadium and try to wrap this one up. 15 saves, a 2.08 earned run average, and 25 appearances for Howell. Howell took over the closing job from the struggling Mad Hungarian Al Herboski. He will come in to face Dan Brothers. Brothers is 0 for 3. Fastball is a called strike. Brothers 0 for 3 today, 1 for 10 in the series. Cardinals have taken the first 2 games of this 4-game set. Fastball up high, swung on and missed by Brothers. Count goes to 0-2. Paul asks, do you make some pinch hit and relief decisions yourself? Yes. I let the game run it strictly. It's game AI, innings 1 through 6. From the 7th through the 9th, I will get involved if I feel it's necessary. If the game makes a decision, though, like if the game is a wicked slider there from Howell, locks Brothers up. That's a great pitch from Howell. And there's one away. Like if instead of Dean starting the inning, if the game had decided it wanted to pull Dean there, I don't have the power to undo that. But if I decided I wanted to take Dean out at the start of the inning and put Howell in to start the inning, that I could have done. Usually if a pitcher is pitching really well, I won't. Like if a pitcher starts the 9th, I'll give him a base run. I'll treat it as giving him a base runner. And again, it all just kind of gets tied into, I want the game to be intelligent, but I also don't want to get over involved and just kind of like watching what transpires. Like I've done the work in creating all of this. Now I kind of want to see it play out. So that's why for the most part, I'll let the game just kind of do its thing for 6 innings. But some of its late game management, it's not terrible, but it could be better. So I get involved a little bit there. Sinking liner from Campanella, but Langford puts it away, and the Dodgers are down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th. Here's Zach Wheat, 2 for 3, a single and a double. He's now got his average up to an even 300. Howell has come in and retired both men to face him. Fastball misses down low. Borderline pitch. Slider. Full strike, 1-1. Fastball. Misses inside. That shot to short. Ozzie has it. Throws to first. Ball game over, and the Cardinals have taken the first 3 of this 4-game set. Dizzy Dean was exceptional. Dazzy Vance was excellent for the Dodgers. A 2-run homer from Chick Hayfie, the only blemish on his ledger. But that was enough. Dean, again, in what has been a miserable season, but an on-fire second half. Improves to 7-14. Dazzy Vance takes the loss. Howell picks up his 16th save. See there, that was the first hit of the ball game. It was a no-hitter for 15 up until that point in the fifth. Tough play for Hornsby, but Roger would tell you he should have had that. Harper makes a terrific play. Saw the great Pete Reeser play earlier on. And Vance falls to 13-9. Your final line score: 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Cardinals. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. We thought we'd get a pitcher's duel in this one, and it did not disappoint. Dazzy Vance, 7 innings, 4 hits, 12 strikeouts for Dazzy Vance. 3 walks, 2 runs allowed. Dizzy Dean, 8 scoreless innings, 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, only 1 walk for Dizzy, who gets Player of the Game honors. And that will wrap it up here from LA. So, actually, here's what we're going to do. We have you guys on here. We're going to get out of this game. And we're going to sim tomorrow, which will be August 31st. And that'll get us to September 1st. And then we will see where we are in the standings. Angels do not have a valid pitching rotation. Oh, what happened to the Angels? Let's see. All right, so the Angels game can't be simmed because the Angels, somebody is on, they lost one of their starters to the injured list. Who'd they lose? Oh, Jared Washburn got hurt. Washburn's having a decent season. Miners call up. Ed Figueroa's doing a nice job in AAA. Jeff Zahn. Zahn, good. Zahn has not pitched in the majors all this year. We're actually going to give Jeff Zahn, since it says that he's red hot, we're going to call him up for the Angels. Again, I have the game alert me to any of these roster things, so I control roster moves for the teams at this point. I feel like the game too often will focus on a player's rating in making roster moves rather than how a player is actually performing during the season, and I don't like that. I think ratings are just kind of mythical things that we're looking at here. You judge a player on how he's actually performing. That's how major leaguers would judge their roster moves. So that's how I try to judge the roster moves going on here too as well. All right, so the 31st is done. So we now get to September 1st. Let's see where the standings are. The A's have already won 100 games. 100 wins, 37 losses for the A's. They have already clinched that American League West. Holly the Bernadoodle sneezing her head off behind me here. The Twins have won 7 in a row. Tigers won yesterday, so the Twins have closed that gap to 3. They are in the Tigers' rearview mirror, but the Tigers holding on for the time being. The Yankees have clinched a playoff berth. They have not clinched the division as of yet. If you go to the American League wildcard race, you'll see there the Red Sox, 5 games up on the Twins for the first wild card, but the Twins have a 9-game gap over the Blue Jays, who have faltered in August. So we pretty much know the 5 playoff teams in the American League already. It's just a matter of seeding, and largely will be tied to how the Twins and the Tigers go in the NL Central or in the AL Central. But go to the National League, the Phillies and the Braves. The Braves are playing, Braves are 16 games over 500, but the Phillies, 90-48, continue to roll atop the NL East. The Pirates, Cubs, and Brewers all tied a game above 500 for the division lead in the National League Central, a 3-way tie as the calendar flips to September 1st. And the St. Louis Cardinals have closed the gap to 3.5 games. They are not out of it yet. The mediocrity of the Central playing into the Cardinals' favor after a miserable start to their season. Out west, the Giants closing in on clinching. They're up 19 games on the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks were in that wild card spot for a decent portion of the year, buoyed by the pitching. But they have now kind of fallen out of, they had fallen out of that spot, and now they are tied. So take a look at this wild card situation. Again, it ties into the National League Central situation. But the National League wild card, Braves are 7 games up on everybody else. So the Braves are pretty much secured in terms of the home field advantage for a wild card spot. But for that second wild card spot, the Diamondbacks, Mets, Brewers, Pirates, Cubs, Dodgers, and Cardinals are all within 4 games of that second wild card spot. So the National League playoff picture could be very, very fun to watch over the course of the final month. Anyway, that will do it from here. I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. We had a good little crew in here tonight, which I'm very appreciative of. Our good friend Beatles Eternally popped in a little while ago. Alternate History 100 has been here. Greg Gorecki, FAC Sports Desk with Paul, and our good friend Dwayne Martz in the house. Luminaries all about. Methadone for Life, our good friend Hugh was here as well. And I know I'm forgetting somebody else. Hold on a second. Michael Kenny was here as well. Michael Kenny stopped in earlier. I knew I was forgetting somebody. I just couldn't remember the name, and I didn't want to just guess and guess wrong. So that wraps it up. You guys all have a wonderful evening. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow night for a stream. With probably on the late side, but we'll probably do another game tomorrow night. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and enjoy those of you with spouses or your girlfriends or moms or whatever, whoever you're tied to, who will be celebrating tomorrow. Enjoy their Mother's Day. Treat them well. They deserve it. Have a great night, guys, and we'll talk soon.